Well, what is this? Butterfingers and Milky Ways. What does that have to do with this?
Yeah, so I want to put more flesh on the bones of this idea of maximizing meaning, and it's a pretty simple idea, but uh, I mean, you think that most of the activities we pursue, or at least those we voluntarily pursue, are things that we think will bring meaning to our lives, directly or indirectly. So when it's up to us, we choose what we think is going to be more satisfying and fulfilling over what we think is going to be less satisfying and fulfilling. I mean, it's almost trivial; it hardly needs stated, but let's kind of work up to it. So, if you were offered a choice between a Butterfinger candy bar and a Milky Way candy bar, and you like Butterfingers more than Milky Ways, and you should, by the way,
Yep.
um, it would be odd, or perhaps even irrational, to choose the Milky Way over the Butterfinger, right? In general, we choose what we think will maximize meaning in our lives, satisfaction, fulfillment, and so forth. Now, here's another example. Uh, you can think of maximizing meaning as the motivation behind bucket lists. Another good movie with
Hmm.
um, Jack Nicholson and Morgan Freeman. Right? That's a great movie, and we understand perfectly why a man would draw up an exotic bucket list after discovering he has a terminal illness, right? With only a short amount of time to live left. No, what he wants is he wants to experience certain things before he can experience things no longer. Things with not just anything, but things with existential charge, things that are meaningful to him. He wants to maximize meaning, as I call it. And I like the bucket list example because it highlights the fact that the impetus to maximize meaning seems directly tied to how much time we have to live. And we judge what's worthwhile according to what is worth our while. That's what the phrase literally means. And you just parse it out and pull it apart. Hence, we say we waste our time while we do things that are not worth doing. So, if cessationism is true, the moments that together constitute my life are the only moments I have. Every passing breath brings me closer to total annihilation. Wasted time is literally just wasted life. And so, if that's true, then wouldn't I have a stronger impetus to make more worth my while than someone who believes in an afterlife? I think so. I should pursue those things, and perhaps even only those things that I'm confident are going to be worth my while. And I would try to maximize the time I have as much as possible by, well, getting up earlier, or spending less time on trivialities like Facebook, and maybe I'd adopt a healthier lifestyle and try to live longer and happier. Wasting time on things that are less than what I'm confident are gonna uh, be fulfilling would seem to be the most stupid thing you could possibly do. It'd be the height of folly.
More like I think the optimists do have a point, but I mean I've heard your argument before, so I know where you're going with this. So I mean I think for the most part I'm on board with it. I think that's right. I think that
Mhm.
there is it does, yeah, cessationism does make every moment very very meaningful, and I like your illustration of like the Butterfinger or the Milky Way, which I agree everyone should choose the Butterfinger. And yeah, in every single moment of your life you should be choosing what can sort of maximize your meaning.
And so this does create a problem, though. If that's the goal, if the goal is to maximize meaning, well, we got to
Yeah, how does
ask,
this lead to despair?
yeah, how can I be sure that what I'm doing at any moment is in fact maximizing meaning? Because it seems like for anything I do, it seems like the pestering thought would remain. Isn't there something else I could be doing that would be more satisfying and fulfilling? I mean, just ask yourself, Cameron, isn't there something else right now that you could be doing other than interviewing me that would be more satisfying and fulfilling? Don't answer that
Possibly.
question. Yeah. So I mean, the listeners can ask themselves the same question: surely there's something else that they could be doing that would be more satisfying and fulfilling than watching this
Instead of
interview?
watching Capturing Christianity.
Right. Right. And so I mean, just push the question back, or broaden it a little bit. What about your own career? Isn't there something else you could be doing that would be more worth your while? Or I mean, just this combination of believing in cessationism with the goal of maximizing meaning, it seems it should at least lead you to rethink a lot of what you're doing on the day to day. I mean, when I posed this problem in these terms to a class at Cornell, I taught a class there on the meaning of life, and one student said that she would immediately drop out of college and go backpacking across Europe. I mean, that's the spirit, right? That's the idea, is truly come to terms with the inevitability of death if it's cessation. That should lead you to radically change what you do in life. If death is the end. But even then, you'd still always be faced with this question of whether or not what you're doing is the best way to maximize meaning, backpacking across Europe or whatever. Is there anything you can be sure is worth your while if this life is all you have? So I guess the main idea is that not knowing for sure what maximizes meaning itself sort of gnaws away at meaning. It's as if cessationism is true, life becomes too meaningful. The worth of my life as a receptacle for meaning exceeds the while I have to maximize, the time I have to maximize. So it's each moment of my life is so pregnant with potential for more meaning that I despair at the likelihood that I'm failing to maximize.
Hello, Cameron here. Thanks for watching this little clip. If you want more, there's actually a whole interview this clip came from. Just click the link on the screen. Oh, and by the way, we post 2 to 3 new videos a week. So if you're interested in apologetics at all, make sure to subscribe to my channel so you can catch our latest content. Oh, and then lastly, remember that Christianity is true.